this is, I'm doing this because I love it. I can only do this because you guys are here doing this with me. And the support you guys do for this absolutely matters. And you've been on the channel for Everson, and I appreciate your repeated support to the channel. And it makes a big deal, and it makes a huge difference. So thank you. So I'll try not to gush too much about it. I think it detracts from the content if you do it too much, but I want to be clear that it is impactful to me. I watch Twitch streamers compare my thoughts and decisions to there, while my YouTube time is more passive. Okay, we read that. I'm less interested in watching you play RPGs, as I feel most of them lack this depth of strategy gems that I love your analysis on. All that said, I have enjoyed your content for years and enjoy being your business partner. I don't envy your problems you've outlined here, only watch the first 30 minutes. You also seem like a no bullshit but kind person. I don't get that a lot. I get no bullshit a lot. I really get kind, and that matters a ton. I actually outsource kind to my wife. That's her job. Thanks for all the content. I hope you find something that works for you. Cheers, man. Another interesting comment. It's positive. I got to be careful with calling positive comments interesting, but I feel like, again, he's answered the question. The question I posed in the channel video was, why do you watch? Why do you not watch these things? What do you find valuable about it? And he's answering that, which I appreciate. All right, can I edit this comment yet? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Good. Hold your breathe. Jesus, have I just absorbed like a full day of YouTube comments, and now I must only comment in YouTube, the language of YouTube? Gotta be careful here. Gotta be real careful. This could be a slippery slope. I may have permanently done brain damage to myself reading these comments like this. Okay. All right. I watch your videos for the intellectual take on a variety of games. I'm a person that needs to know what makes the game tick, and you find and explain it in a digestible way. Cool. Civ 5 was what brought me here, and Darkest Dungeon and Battle Brothers helped keep me. You talked about how you've made in-depth guide tips and tricks videos, and I think that's, for me, the main thing I loved, except for Civ 5 from your content, and still use them when I decide to do another playthrough of something like Darkest Dungeon or Battle Brothers. I think the content I enjoy most are games where you can play in multiple different styles and the outcome isn't pre-deposed, and you whip out the spreadsheet and crunch some numbers, crunch items and talent points. Eggplant. I was shocked at how much I enjoyed Battle Brothers when I first watched you play it, and I laughed and thought, what the hell is this horseshit game? But you and the way you played it helped me fall in love with it. Also Darkest Dungeon. That's the type of comment. This is, if I look at what comments are most personally satisfying, it's that. It's the idea that I have taken a game that maybe this guy didn't know, and he's said, Filthy Robots content is good. There's this weird game in here that I don't think is going to be very interesting, but I watched a little bit of Filthy play it, and it's a fun, cool game, and I'm going to get into it and enjoy it. I love hearing that. For me, I've really struggled with your content lately. I haven't been able to get into current games. They're not the type of games I want to watch you play. I'm not sure if anything I've said is helpful or relevant to what you're looking for. It absolutely is. Thank you for the feedback. Can't wait for Darkest Dungeon 2. Me neither. The games I've loved on your channel, the ones which are some aspect of Iron Man-esque campaign system. Maybe this is biased in my particular love of the Battle Brothers content, but when I feel your content shines is the ups and downs of these consequence-heavy playthroughs. I believe that XCOM, Darkest Dungeon, or Battle Brothers, a lot of the tension and entertainment as viewers comes from the attachment that chat builds to the various pieces of unfortunate cannon fodder that you fling into the meat grinder. It's certainly something that you play while streaming these games. It's certainly something that you play into while streaming these games. So it seems like it makes for good entertainment. But it isn't something that you mentioned when discussing that people enjoy about your specific content. So I'm not sure if it's something you are consciously aware of as a significant draw. Thank you for pointing that out. About RPGs, I love RPGs and watch a lot of them on YouTube, but I play those games for stories. So I gravitate towards the content creators who throw themselves into the nerdy lore aspects of the game instead of throwing themselves into the mechanical side. I checked out your PoE 2 videos, but I didn't keep going with them because the way you were engaging with it felt like you were taking a story I loved and reducing it to math. So funny. I have BDSM on the mind, right? From our talk about that earlier today, chat. That was something the BDSM community used to tell us as researchers, that one of the complaints we have is you were taking the magic out of this by explaining it. It's just so not a sentiment I buy into. It's better when you understand it. You can take the things that you're interested in and maximize that and remove the stuff you don't like about it. You can't do that if you don't understand it. I'm not trying to say you were playing the game wrong, just that you were playing in a way that was so opposite to how I played that it wasn't fun for me to watch. I saw it earlier, Shiro. We're gonna make some. Now that Shiro spent some channel points, we have some ideas for making channel points useful. We're thinking of tying it into the game suggestion system in some way, so the people who watch my channel the most are gonna have a bit more of a voice in suggesting games for that. But we'll see how that works. 5,000 points for a hat. Xanadu, if you're in the channel, I know I can hold out. I can hold out for more than 5,000 points for that hat. Quick comment regarding editing. I know the mic volume is brought up as an issue soon to be fixed, but currently the music and other non-voice FX seems a tad too loud to the point of feeling invasive or startling to me if it didn't lower the volume beforehand. Yeah. I don't think it's inflation. I think it's extortion. I've been with you since the Civ 5 days. I believe I have more insight than most here with my experience with you. The reason I stuck with you, as you've stated, is because of your educational videos, your passion, and more importantly, your snarky yet cool attitude when someone asks you a silly question. You grilled them for jokes, obviously. Your incredibly detailed explanations and methodical thinking is something I love and enjoy through your streams and videos. For me personally, I fucking love RPGs and I'd watch every single one. Why it is that it doesn't do well, I honestly couldn't know. XCOM and Battle Brothers have RPG elements to it, so I fail to see why people discriminate one type over the other. I would love to suggest tons of more games to open your view to other stories and get your thoughts on them. By the way, I fucking love your new editor. He's fucking awesome and knows his anime memes. I don't know his anime memes. If these are memes, I've been taking them at face value of that the information conveyed in them is their timing and their either cuteness or like facial expressions. If there's additional information being conveyed there, it's probably on a level that I haven't been responding to. But I like my new editor too. He's really awesome. Yeah. Yeah, Conra, I have similar thoughts. Filthy, I've been watching your content since Civ days. When it came to Civilization, XCOM, Long War, Darkest Dungeon, and Battle Brothers, the amount of passion and hard work you put into games through guides and gameplays show. Your passion drove me to get good at all these games, leading to 500 plays at each, 500 hours played in each, right? Enjoy the fucking games. I like that too. When you approach games as a whole, it's dramatically improved the way I think about strategy across all the games I play. Your harsh, biting sarcasm complements how seriously you take gameplay of the games you're passionate about. I can't predict the next game you'll find a strong passion for, always sticking around, but I'll be sticking around while you search the avalanche of releases for gems. There's a great deal of many people reading chat now. There are a great many people, myself included, who subscribe to the notion of min-maxing RPGs is playing the RPG wrong. So breaking things down on the opposite of enjoying them to make them better for some people. There's two different circles and there's a minimal overlap on a Venn diagram for that sort of thing. I think they're independent again. Like we can talk about this with D&D, right? We can have really a fun story-driven action in a D&D game while still having fun and engaging, deep, well, potentially deep. I don't actually think the current D&D system is very deep, but you can design a mechanical system that's in-depth and complicated and interesting, independent of whether or not the storyline is deep and interesting, right? And those are two totally different different scales. And if you get a game that has both, that's a win-win, right? Why can you not have a hard RPG? I failed to put on a high BPM beat, so you're now watching a butt girl workout video. See, she's probably much better at that than I will ever be, Gleese. And she's probably providing better entertainment value in that category for you than I would be able to. I don't begrudge you that. I had a donation from One Heart, One Mind to donate $5. Can we meet Editor-san? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if he does a lot of gaming. I liked the idea of bringing him into a community game one day. We'll see. All right, how do I save my voice from dying? I feel for me, when you asked about RPGs, you have that. I feel for me. Okay, so he's saying this is in my opinion, personally. When you asked about RPGs, you have the very analytical mind that must be perfect way in a sense. And sure, that lots of your appeal, but it doesn't translate well into RPGs. A lot of times saying, look at this big fucking fellow when you encounter a monster, etc. is more entertaining than, okay, let's break this down before we fight. I feel as if RPGs are more entertaining when it isn't overthought, even though efficiency can be good. I sometimes feel as if you focus too much on that, not just talking about the game or making comments about it. E.g. with The Witcher 3, I'd love to see you play on the hardest difficulty and try to be really good, but at the same time, if you spent 30 minutes prepping for every fight, etc., it could be so tedious and tiresome. I think finding the balance between just playing and planning is needed more. Hope this helps. Edit some comments here are saying not to play The Witcher. I honestly think limiting yourself isn't going to help. There are people who could love it, but you'll never know unless you try. There's a cost to trying everything, and that's time and what you're doing otherwise. Armored Elite. Hey, Kilo. Thanks for the resub, man. How is life with you? It's been a long-ass fucking time. Have you seen Crowfall, by the way, Kilo? A game that you're maybe partially interested in? I think it might hit something of the type of game that you enjoy as well. The Old Fashioned is a great throat soother. Today is Saturday, right? If I have a couple drinks and show up and play some Crowfall tonight and get some PvP out of that, it could be a fun night. I'm not sure whiskey soothes throats, but it could be okay. Drink hot pineapple juice.
You have returned.
Thank you, Numerous. Welcome back. Check out, you've been busy, school picked up, haven't been playing any games, makes sense, man. But check out, I did a couple YouTube videos recently on Crowfall. Check it out and see if it's something that might fit into the type of thing you're interested in. I'm finding it really engaging. It's pre-alpha right now, so it may not come out that way, but it's a good time to get involved in it. I'm just waiting for Civilization 5 to make a comeback on your channel. Seriously, he said several times he's done with that. I'm waiting for Civ 6. Well, who knows? One can still hope. Filthy might change his mind one day. In any case, I don't think hoping for it to happen and stating that here is in any way inappropriate or something. I came for the Darkest Dungeon videos, and I stayed because you're very smart and thorough in all your videos, and I enjoy the intelligence in everything you do. You probably should be putting ads or links to your other channels. Had no idea VODs were on YouTube. I now have a point of contention with my YouTube editor. That can be easily fixed moving forward, but it is disappointing that that wasn't in. I thought it was being included. Well, fair point then. Make it part of the video, not just in the description. Maybe the end. It can be the end still. I think he was showing me something he was putting for that anyways. I mean, I still would not have known about it if I hadn't made it halfway through. Also suggest not doing The Witcher. Other RPGs they aren't very deep strategy wise, and generally people don't want them spoiled, as the story is the main driver. Probably an unusual viewer, but I'll definitely share why I tune in. The initial pull is that my profession is analysis, improving equipment, procedures, plans, etc. I enjoy my job a lot, and your analytical style from the ground up is very different from mine, though we often reach similar conclusions. Your process, I think, has sharpened my skills over time, even though we apply to very different subjects. Oh, this is One Heart, One Mind, who just donated. I consume all of your content in a work-driven way. I deploy it in remote areas for significant chunks of time where I can only digest a small piece of content here or there, or not at all. And at home, I often binge curated content and catch up, followed by more casual, routine viewing, and then the cycle continues. So your delivery systems are perfectly designed for me. All the various forms of content are relevant. This video felt very pointed because I have generally found your RPG content less interesting. I think it's because the interesting decisions happen much less frequently. There's a flurry of interesting material during a quest or level up, followed by executing that decision for a lot longer. That's a very good breakdown of that, actually. The execution is less compelling than the decision itself to me. I also find that. This was one of my biggest issues with graduate school, was that the asking of questions and finding the data to answer the question was really interesting, and then I don't care anymore. And I don't want to write it up, and I don't want to spend ages shopping around for fucking journals to publish it. And I don't want to, I'm okay with criticism, because criticism is like the strongest idea standing kind of idea, right? If criticism challenges my idea and I have to resupport it with different data, or think about, well, that's an interesting way to attack that, or I hadn't thought about it way, that's interesting. But the brute execution of something that already works is tedious for me. This is why I can't endlessly play Battle Brothers, because at some point Battle Brothers is, we basically solved, if not the only efficient way, I'm not saying that is the only efficient way, but we've solved a fairly efficient way to beat that game regularly. And it's hard for me to just keep executing that. I think that's a very good breakdown of that. And you like seeing how my brain works. Hope that helps. Thank you. It does. This is pretty cool. I love hearing that too. What do you do? If you're still on channel One Heart, One Mind, what profession, what are you doing that this is happening? I'm kind of curious. Bust out a math workbook and solving some problems. Math on stream is really painful. Prof Pessimist says, Aratus Lord of the Dead is a better Darkest Dungeon. You should try it. Now, all right, moving on. All right. I'm pretty sure you viewers have a very high tolerance towards view length. I wouldn't mind seeing longer videos. Even casual gameplay videos allow me to learn about how to react to specific situations that your full-length guide videos could miss. I also enjoy those a lot too. Fuck, I need something for my throat. Context, following you since the Gothic Armada days. I've been a Prime sub for about a year. While I'm not your target audience for feedback, the things I appreciate most about your channel is that you, 1, play the games I'm not willing to invest time into learning how to play well, and 2, play as Filthy Robot. There's no space in Filthy Robot. I have to invest in characters. I can't leave anyone behind. Seeing you excel at while not specifically investing in characters is a thing I can't do and enjoy watching. Specifically regarding your comment, break it down into how you do this. Fully on board. You played so many games I don't care about. It doesn't super matter because you're explaining why you're making the choice you're making. It's not based on feelings, but on spreadsheets. You could probably have streams where you go in depth about climbing equipment or arrowheads or whatever, so long as you care about it and are willing to delve into the niche. I primarily play ARPGs, but almost never watch streamers playing the games I'm playing. You potentially getting into Crowfile is exciting to me as I played Dark Age of Camelot and Warhammer Online back in the day. I can't play that now, but I do want to see that style of game played at a high level. Me too, man. Audio quality, yes, you should invest in better equipment to stream. Personally, I know that when I turn on your stream, I need to bump up the volume in that tab. It's fine, but there are many more times I need to turn the volume down on things. Adjusting volume on my end isn't a hassle. I prefer having to turn things up than having my ears blown out. Big takeaway for me is that I enjoy your streams because you're a smart person who likes playing to the edge of games. I'm not much older than you, but I can't invest the time. You're investing for me, and I really appreciate that. Again, this is one of my favorite types of comment. I love the idea that I'm providing value by going through games in the way I'm going through them, and that I get to make someone else's gameplay experience better, even if it is ruling out something, watching vicariously but not having to play and invest in the time, or turning them onto a game that they haven't played yet that they're interested in playing. I really like that. That's really nice to hear. Came here to watch your great reviews on the games I like, such as Battle Bros and Darkest Dungeon. But by the way you're saturated with those games, could you try Project Zomboid or Hunt Showdown or maybe War Thunder? Or its other game, Deep Sky Derelicts. I don't want to play Deep Sky Derelicts. I started that and couldn't get into it. About this question on the time. Don't know what that link means. You play Civ 6 post all updates. That's I like too. What? You play Civ 6 post all updates question mark. That's I like too. I'm going to read his initial comment again, because I like that one. I came here to watch your great reviews on games I like, such as Battle Bros and Darkest Dungeon. By the way you're saturated with those games, could you try Project Zomboid? Okay. All right, let me give a quick link to a friend here. All right. All right. And oh fuck, is this becoming meme? Are people now posting replies? Because I asked, what are we at for this, by the way? I disliked. Where's my 281 likes, 7 dislikes, 226 comments. I feel like I've read more than 226 comments. Okay. Hold your breathe. Hold your breathe. Andre says, just thought I think a big part of your personality type of content specifically is that it caters to a lot of people who are already at least somewhat interested in the certain game you're covering. Certainly people stick around and learn about new games. I think it's not as conducive to having a large permanent viewership gain from a single game as much more exciting personality is. No, there's no way I would ever do well with staying for a single game forever. It's just not what I'm at all interested in. Yeah, Borka, I think that's a good idea too. I need something for my throat. I'm gonna take a second and go see if I have like a cough drop or honey or I don't know, whiskey, or maybe I just get someone to like kick me in it for a minute, and then we'll continue with this. Back in a sec. All right, chat. I need to be reassured that most of you are European viewers because I'm just opened a glass of whiskey at 1:30 p.m. local time. But because I am catering to a group of people who are many hours ahead of me, this is the evening, I believe. All right. I'm sure if you already realized, but you're going over the comments in reverse chronological order. I understand. Although I realize that when I made the comment, I didn't notice that. I noticed it after. Okay. Alaska, morning drinking. 8:33 p.m. American viewer here. No need to apologize for being an American viewer. Just tell me that in your state, drinking mostly happens now. Perfect. All right. We're almost done, right? This is a progress bar indicator down here. Or is that going to update again in a second? They drink like the degenerates we are. Exactly. My first contact with the channel was through your Civ 5 videos. For that time, I was really into the game. I took a cough drop, which is a temporary solution. Because cough drops are, I believe, aren't they just like basically... don't they just give you the feeling of relief even after they don't actually do anything to physically help the area? So essentially you're just numbing your ability to feel the pain. Yeah. Okay. So I thought. My first contact with the channel was through your Civ 5 videos, and at that time I was already really into the game, so I watched some guide and full games. Normally I watch videos about games that I play or consider buying, but even without knowing the game, I enjoyed the last 3 Frostpunk stream highlight videos. Those were good to get an overall idea of what it was about in a short time, and also the editing was good because it focused on your interaction with the game, which is another reason to watch the videos from YouTube and others. See, I think that's true too. I think the highlight videos are a really good domain for the editor to do little clips of my personality, essentially interacting with the game as well as some gameplay footage. And if you want full gameplay footage, you can watch the full VODs or watch the guide videos. Came to your channel due to your super informative Civ 5 and Civ 6 videos. Their quality was unrivaled. Many of the tips in your Civ 6 videos are still relevant today. 2 expansions later, and there's nothing out there that matches them. Marmor Zero makes some decent stuff, but your Civ content puts people like Potato Whiskey to shame. As a side note, your camera quality seems a bit off. Might want to look into that. Yeah, bro. I know I mentioned that in the channel, in the video. If I were to put why I come to your channel and stream into one sentence, it would be this. When coming to your channel, my excitement comes from my desire to learn what it is you figured out in this game that I can use in my own games to make the experience more enjoyable. For certain games, you are one of, if not the best content creator for exactly this. When it comes to CRPG games, however, having a lower view count, these games are big titles, usually get played by way more content creators than what I will call your niche and strategy games. Watching someone play a CRPG game is not informative or engaging with someone playing a strategy game. CRPG games are relatively linear gameplay. You follow a story to the side quest and that's it. Strategy games have more options how to play and things to try out because of that. Draws in viewers who want to answer questions they have about those games. You built your community around your love of strategy games, figuring out the nuances and min-maxing. This is exactly the type of viewer who comes to look at your channel and stream. Steam. The viewers who like watching people play CRPGs will likely go to content creators, bigger personality, and is more animated, infusing energy into the stream with their excitement and commentary. Not saying you don't do as exciting, just not in the way of people. Yeah, I think there's a large interaction of things. Kex, if you're still watching, man, this is probably fairly depressing for you. Seems like all my viewers think I shouldn't be streaming RPGs. Oh, I like the AI. I watched a little bit of AI Dungeon with on Kit Boga's stream the other night. I was thinking to myself that might be fun. It depends how repetitive it got. Some of the things seem pretty stupid. Yeah, the camera I want to get, or the type of camera I want to get, is fairly expensive. So I explained this in the video, right? I don't know a lot about it. It's a lot of work to figure out about it. I'm not entirely certain what I want it for past better quality here, and it's a big fucking output of money for me. So I don't know. We played Kingmaker. Loving the highlights, good. That's why we added them. I think it's an increased form of content above and beyond the content I could previously offer. I think it's an addition overall to the quality and fun of my channel, and it doesn't hurt anything. The thing about fucking videos that people release is you don't have to watch them if you don't want to. So this is an additional form of content above and beyond what we've been doing. Keep your head up. The viewers will come back when a game that piques your interest comes by. It really shows in your content when you're playing the game. You can get geek out and enjoy yourself. I can't wait for Crowfall. Thanks. Honestly, I think the meeting of passion and my passion in a game that has good viewer count is what we're looking for. I just want that to have a higher chance of occurring, which means we need to put more good games through the channel. I like your channel because you always know what you're talking about and you can explain your reasoning. A lot of guides have inconsistent or illogical tips, or if the tips are correct, they don't do a good job explaining why the game works the way it does. I like your channel because I don't have to take your word for it. Like certain things are good or bad. I know why after you explain it. Good. There's a hopefully constructive comment. I would like to say the sound that goes along with the pop-ups in the videos are a little bit distracting. Love your content. Keep up the great work. Some people do this too. I think this is... maybe not. Maybe this is just a direct way. It's like skipping the intermediary. Like giving me feedback is fine. Better to give my editor feedback because my editor is the one doing the editing. So you can tell me that and I can pass on that stuff maybe. Or more better, just straight up better than that is tag my editor. Which would line up with the Netflix release. Good synergy you would think, but I wouldn't watch. I guess because while I like the story in the show, I wouldn't want to watch someone playing and swinging swords in The Witcher. Maybe strategy games turn-based are easy to follow and watch, especially with commentary. I saw your review of Eratus right off the bat, 20 hours invested. Well, you could break that up. This is this guy. We read this guy. I think we read his response before we read this one, though. Did he double post this? Wasn't the last one posted in the Eratus review? Okay. It will probably be there though, Puro. If you're interested in hearing my reaction to it, you can probably find it on the VOD. I'm doing them reverse chronologically in order. For me, I really like seeing the progression of your games over time. Battle Brothers is a good example of this. The company develops from a bunch of dudes with pitchforks to a major military force. Your content is a good mix of game progression with a solid understanding of game mechanics. That being said, there are times when I have trouble enjoying the content. This happens often in the early game when it feels like you're rushing to get to the interesting end game fights. This is two negative results for me. First, there's a tendency to get frustrated after multiple wipes when trying to bypass early mid-game progress. But I get bored playing the same content over and over again, especially early game content, because you play much more early game content than late game content, and the late game content tends to be more fun. Second, it neglects the progression story of how your team company base grow from its humble beginning to be able to do the challenging endgame conflicts. Having watched hundreds of hours of your Battle Brothers content, I will say that I enjoy the company progression as much as the endgame battles. The last piece of hopefully constructive criticism I can offer is there's a tendency to assume failure. What I mean this, I've noticed a pattern where an ability, tactic, or game mechanic that you've not fully explored yet is assumed to be dabbed by default. Yeah, absolutely. Example would be dodge tanks in Battle Brothers, who are bad. They're quite bad. Anyways, I look forward to seeing what games you focus on the coming year. This is interesting because I think logically you need to assume this, especially as you go up in difficulty. And like, I think Frostpunk is actually a perfect example of this, right? As you go up and up in difficulty, the number of strategies that work decreases because you're looking for essentially optimizing, right? So harder it gets, less strategies, more concise those strategies, the more likely it is that any given random strategy suggested is bad. That's just logically how that works, right? Am I missing something there? And this is, again, strongest idea stuff. So anyways, interesting commentary, though. Let's take a look. Started watching a game called Factorial. It's kind of like a strategy game where you need to build up a giant complex of different machines. You need to upgrade those machines while defending from alien invasions because of you causing pollution. Okay. Yeah, Factorial gets recommended a lot. With RPGs, is probably either wanting to avoid spoilers, RPGs being a more personal experience, and of course, otherwise, perhaps it's not the audience for it. I think we're on that. Here's this guy again. Found your Battle Brothers. I've viewed your Darkest Dungeon as well. Appreciate your attention to detail and numbers, spreadsheets, even while discussing and playing games. I too find myself creating spreadsheets when I play games as well. Found your videos more informational and straight to the facts rather than entertaining. Perhaps the length of each video fit that model more than entertainment. I don't watch live streams of games though. Typically the entertainment videos I watch are 10 to 20 minute range, whereas deep thought and informational videos tend to range in the 30 to 60 minute. I think that's probably right to some degree as well. You can say deep informative things in a short period of time, but you have to really seriously limit the scope to do that. Mostly. Personally, I mainly watch you because watch you go in depth with the games in a way that's both entertaining and educational point of games you enjoy. It's a blast to watch. Came to see the Min-Max is the game I'm interested in. Importantly, it says 20 upvotes. I come to see you Min-Max a game I'm interested in. Importantly, I enjoy you explaining your thinking as you play, as it's both interesting and helps me learn the game better. Okay. But again, Shiro, that's just bad game design, right? You can design a game that's both fun, that's both storyline fun and mechanically interesting. That's possible. Happens all the time. I can't speak for everyone, but I love the fact that every time I watch a video, I'm learning something from you. You've demonstrated principles or concepts working in real time. Wish I could catch live streams with different time zones. I believe Arvius is trying to get back into YouTube with Civ. You guys should do something together. I like Arvius. I'm happy to collab with him. I don't think I want to do anything Civ related though. Arvius is a better Civ player than me these days too. Like I haven't played Civ in like 2 years, and Arvius plays every day. And Arvius was always very competitive. Like, you know, like if you had to define who were the best Civ players, his name always came out. I get that Twitch plays significantly better than YouTube, but I don't watch streams. Anything you put on YouTube is something I watch, so enjoying those. I always come back to watch your YouTube because the content, and I would like to actually collab with Arvius, but I want to collab with Arvius in one of these formats with like Jorbs and Dolphin, and see if we can find a game to do that. Or another game. I just don't want to collab in Civ particularly. I always come back to watch your YouTube because the content always teaches me to play games I like better and get more enjoyment. Darkest Dungeon and Battle Brothers, for example. I also watched a ton of your XCOM content. I had a lot of fun with XCOM 1. A lot less fun with XCOM 2. You're one of the best at explaining your decision making. Also, I get some chuckles when you get all salty. Thank you for all the great content. I hope you bring back the YouTube series content. I really can't catch you on Twitch. I should have watched the whole video before commenting. God, I love it when people learn. I'm so excited about the other channel. Thank you, Filthy. Yes! We did it! We reached one of our nearly 90,000 subscribers, but we told them about something they didn't know, that I've been on my channel for a couple months now. Maybe do a Civ 5 throwback for a little bit. Fuck no. I came for the detail min-maxing and snarky attitude. Only 11 months to Darkest Dungeon 2. Still waiting for the next season of Battle Brothers. Legends mod was mentioned a while back, and it may only be me, but I prefer RNG-based content with non-linear gameplay. Compare Frostpunk, which always ends in the same scripted way, with Battle Brothers or Mordheim, where play... What's Mordheim here? You think he means Mordheim, City of the Damned? Wasn't that the super insanely buggy game that I was really hoping would be better, and I'm looking forward to the sequel of? Where play is always random and outcomes are always various and non-linear. Enjoy the passion and the way you test things to maximize the gameplay experience. Experimenting with random builds and Battle Brothers is a good example. Old-time Civ 5 series were great as well. I lost interest with the Dota card-style games you jumped into. It seems to be a pretty recurring theme as well. Although I did get a totally different crowd of viewers playing the CCGs, which is funny because to me they're very similar games. It's for the Fortnite masses of nowadays, young snowflakes who need everything to be handed to them on a silver platter. Okay. Yeah, but another issue, Kex, huh? Yeah. I always appreciated your depth. Your in-depth guides for Civ 5 playthroughs of the game also provide examples of your tactics in action. The combination helped me improve a lot. Also enjoyed Civ 5 play. Really missed the Civ streams. Civ 6 isn't as nice as Civ 5. We can translate this with our PR filter off, and it goes like this. Civ 6 is a pile of steaming dog shit, comma, but I would still love content for it. Hello. Everyone please reply to my comment. Just started playing the game. Are the guys... Okay, we passed this? This is other stuff. This is previous. We did it! We did it! Got through our comments. All right, let's refresh. Is this XCOM? Yes. All right. I like that you're analytical, and watching you helps me That's an interesting one. Haven't had that occur yet. So that was something OBS related. Because basically my output went to 0. I don't know why. Shit posting crashes the internet. Live on Filthy Robot. Hopefully we may hold our breath again, ideally. All right. All right, let's catch up on the last couple minutes. When you pick shit tier RPGs, if you don't know why those games are not popular, it's because you don't have a desire for those games in the first place. Just ask yourself, why would you want to watch people play these games? Play Fire Emblem. Seems somewhat ignorant of a comment. I'm pretty sure PoE is Pillars of Eternity is one of the best RPGs I've ever seen, ever played. Yeah, I don't think so. I like that you're analytical and watching you helps me along in my own games because I want to approach the games in this manner. Also, I must say that I've watched for a while. That's because of your choice of games. If the games don't interest me, it's not enough reason to watch. It doesn't mean your content got worse. It's just not me wanting to force you to play games you don't enjoy, but it's like this. If a content creator doesn't enjoy what he's doing, I don't think it's enjoyable to watch. I agree. Thank you, Scott Deathridge, for the sub. Welcome. I got into Civilization for the first time after watching Civ 5 videos. Because of that, you got hooked on the game and religiously watch every Civ 5 video you posted. I learned so much from them. It was sad when you stopped playing the game and didn't get hooked on Civ 6, possibly because you didn't. It was saddened when you stopped playing the game and didn't get hooked on Civ 6, possibly because you didn't. Oh, he's saying he didn't get hooked because I didn't. Okay. I still follow your channel, but don't watch them as I'm not interested in the games you play right now, but we'll be back if you started playing a game I want to learn because your videos are so informative. Okay. In other words, I'm coming for the expert content that matches the gaming content that I'm interested in. You're not doing that right now, so I have no reason to watch. It's very logical. I think RPG games dream a lot more casual audience, while turn-based games tickle the fancy of gamers who enjoy taking games a bit more seriously. I'm guessing the majority of your regular viewers are nitty-gritty, blah, blah, blah. So watching you play an RPG is probably not quite their genre. What do you think of grand strategies? I feel if you enjoy optimal strategy for a game, you enjoy Europa, EU4, or possibly Hearts of Iron. I don't like grand strategies, but I did enjoy EU4. But I think I enjoyed it in passing. I love your brain. He doesn't see people, just brains. It's always stimulating to listen to your thought processes because it helps me challenge myself by also attempting to solve problems in a well thought out and systematic way. Cheers. Kudos to that. 2 comments regarding the grind. This is something I've struggled with through my career. I've come to the realization for myself there's always going to be some amount of grind and things that need to happen. Absolutely. You need to keep it as a manageable level or know that doing something you might not enjoy is going to lead to something more enjoyable down the road. Exactly. My thoughts on the RPGs. I love the RPGs. They have been some of my favorite genres, but to me they're an extremely intimate endeavor. I play them almost exclusively as neutral good completionist. Jesus. In his free time, for fun, he roleplays a paladin, a OCD paladin. This leads to the building of the character being the spotlight over the game mechanics. I can drop into any of your Darkest Dungeon or Battle Brothers videos and have a good idea what's going on. This is far less so with Tyranny or Pillars of Eternity. Yeah, we talked about this a couple times on stream today. Now, I think then if we're ever going to get any success out of RPGs on this channel, they need to be fairly bounded, like hour or two at the end of a stream, offline YouTube series, heavy amounts of editing out like the start of a stream and end of a stream, and very conscious attention to making sure that content comes up as it's being created so people can follow along. Paladins are lawful good? This has good in it. I assume it's a paladin. I was introduced to your channel through your collab with Arumba. I would love to see you collab again and maybe help with the game selection issue. Then after you find a passion project, I'd love to see you teach someone. Yeah. Some more collabs would be good. I don't know how to set that up. Shiro thinks I should cold call every large streamer on the internet I'm interested in, but I don't think that's the way to do it. I told you this was going to be fucking memey. I recently started watching after the Arumba co-op videos. I was hooked by your passion and desire to really look under the hood to see how things worked. I tuned out in the beginning when you got salty because I didn't understand that it was passion. You enjoyed the game, but were frustrated when things didn't go the way you expected, and it took me some time to understand that. I most enjoy watching the game as complex systems that you can pull apart. I will watch almost any game that has systems that you can pull apart. You're the only person I watch play Magic, for example. Not because I like Magic, because I like the way you approach it. I enjoy watching you discover and test things and bring it into my own gameplay. When I tune out, it isn't necessarily when it's an RPG or a specific type of game. When I can tune into the stream, disclosure, I work for the vast majority of your stream. What will turn me away is if I feel like you're getting tilted and letting chat tilt you. This is rare, but it does happen at times, and we'll tune out and tune back in later. It's the only time I actively tune out. I've had some people say things like this in the past too. This is like the more conflict averse people really don't like it when I get annoyed with things. Lastly, I'm not a Twitch or stream expert by any means, so please take this with a grain of salt. The games that you like to play seem to be better for an older audience. And your streaming schedule for US may preclude older audiences from watching. That's an interesting theory I hadn't heard. I've heard that a more mature audience likes my stuff, but I hadn't even thought about putting that together with the fact that more mature audience is almost always working. It's kind of interesting. We came here for passion, for Civilization games, for the friendship with the players you're playing with, for the smile in your face when you're playing Civ and enjoying it. Jesus, am I remembering something different than him? I remember fucking invisible XComs shitting on my 8-hour game. With Pat and I remember stupid people suiciding into me needlessly, ruining their game and making my game 10 times harder. With passion and education, you're right. But go back to Civ and you'll see people coming back. It's working very well. I'm pretty sure most of the people you have discovered here discovered you through Civ. Absolutely no doubt to support that. The best performing overall series of videos on my channel are almost certainly the Darkest Dungeon ones. You became a Civ guy for us, and we thank you for that. Go back to that, and everything will be fine. Nope. This is extremely backwards thinking. Games have shelf lives. Audience interest in games also has a shelf life. Believing that the nostalgia glory days are the answer to the future, I think, is extremely dangerous. But we understand that your pleasure is very important too, so maybe try finding other strategy games that you enjoy, something that involves other players too. We like seeing you winning against all the folks. Yeah, I think some collab element of that is true too. I don't want to shit on this because I think I want to shit on the sentiment without the person. The person means this in a well-intended way. They're trying to say, I got involved with you from the Civ. Your Civ stuff's really good. We really like watching that. I really like watching that. They keep generalizing to we, but they mean I. I enjoy watching that. I enjoyed your interactions with other people. If you go back and do Civ again with all of those things that are happening, more people are going to want to watch you because that's the stuff that I find interesting. And some of that's right, but the solution of going back to Civ isn't quite right. I remember you watching play Civ 5. I remember watching you for Civ 5 content, especially early guides and playthroughs. I really like to see more of your gameplay. I would love to see more of your gameplay. I would love to see more of your gameplay that you give your breakdown analysis and return to your spreadsheet style. What is that doing there? I would love to see more of your gameplay where you give your breakdown analysis and return to your spreadsheet style. I do think that your Iron Man runs, because lower difficulty and restarting is boring anyways, like Darkest Dungeon, Pillar of Eternity 2, and Civ 5 is very enjoyable with explanation. You're basically playing the most correct way, which rarely streamers tend to do, and it's so satisfying to watch. If you play new games, I think you should tone down filthy tries for a little bit, but rather stick with 2 or 3 games that you like the most and play passionately like your favorite Darkest Dungeon, full analysis, breakdown inside of your game. Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, right? The goal is to use variety to find passion games and then stick with the passion games as long as we're interested in them and then move on to another passion game. I don't think fewer numbers gets you there unless we have guaranteed passion games coming. I think a better selection criteria gets us there, and that's what we're working towards. So I think the same goal, but a slightly different or a different way to get there. The reason why I came to your channel is because I was looking for a nerd like me that was into discussing interesting ways, builds, and strategies about indie titles like Darkest Dungeon and Battle Brothers. I searched for many channels and finally came across a person that explained what was going through his mind in a clear way and what would his strategies be. That's why I'm here, and that's what I was looking for when I subscribed to your channel quite a few years ago, I might add. I watched your channel for the high-level plays I'm not good enough to do on the strategy games I don't particularly like to play myself. To be honest, I'm not a Twitch viewer, I'm a YouTube viewer, so take my comment as you see fit. About the editing of your videos, I'm not a fan. They're not bad by any means, but they very much suit an action video games highlight type of video. I prefer the VODs, which I didn't even know you had on YouTube. I know you said you don't want to play Civ 5 anymore, but that style of videos was the best. Maybe with the editor polishing the edges and you playing whatever strategy game you're up to these days, something great could come out. I'm subbed to quite a lot of channels, but whenever you're online, I'd rather watch you than any other streamer, regardless of what you're playing. That's very sweet. I wonder why. That'd be the interesting part. Hey, I always appreciate the guides, the min-max that I try unsuccessfully to translate to my own gameplay and the delivery of that. If you're looking for some ideas on games, I suggest the Total War series or Northgard. We played a lot of Northgard on this channel already. And Total War is something that I think I probably need to get into. Are we comparing EPs in chat? How long have I been subscribed for? Follow since. Let's find out. I don't think I follow my channel. Not following. Fuck. How will I win the giveaways? All right. As to the RPG things, if it's a linear story that I might myself want to play, I don't want to watch someone else play it. I'm on the fence about it. If I'm on the fence about it, excuse me, then I'll watch for like a half hours as if it were a demo and then I'm out. And if I'm into it, I'm still out. It's good honesty. I watched on and off for a few years now. I enjoy hearing the salt variety. I think playing some garbage game one day a week would be really fun casual. If you can find entertaining garbage games, I'm not against that. It doesn't have to be the greatest game ever to be released to have fun with it. I think the dating fucking game with my wife while drinking would be hilariously fun. I need a good suggestion. Can't just be like why? Okay, Xanadu. I need this. This needs to be in mod chat, perhaps, or maybe main chat or game suggestion chat in Discord, something like that. But I need a breakdown of which of the dating games I should play for this. My wife's going to come back after a lot of traveling. I'm probably going to give her a day or two to recover. Then I'm going to get her drunk and we're going to play fucking dating games on channel live. That should be hilariously fun. Okay. Would you have any interest in creating a specific day where you play Civ 5/6, like a Civilization Thursday? Alternating leap years? Okay. Perfect. I like your content. Yeah, that's what I figured, Kilo. It struck me as I actually thought about you the other day with this and was like, next time he resubs, I'll point it out to him because I thought it might be something you might be interested in. I've got a good guild too. If you're interested in it, let me know. I'll get you set up and try to walk you through how to have fun with that game. The content's somewhat limited right now. It's pre-alpha, but I'll walk you through it. I like your content. However, if you're playing a game I'm not interested in, I don't watch. Usually I actually bought it until I actually bought it, Battle Brothers was super boring and I wasn't watching because you were playing it all the time. So I don't know. I like that you play a game till it's completely wrung dry. But for me though, if you're playing something I'm not interested in, I don't watch. That said, pick what you actually want to play and then just do it with a lot of O's. Just do it. Perfect. Yeah. I like to watch your content for its high level of play and well-explained reasons for the actions you take, so I tend to skip the first run or so of any new game you play. That's interesting because this is opposite what some of the people are saying. Some of the people are saying they like to watch me learn. This guy doesn't want to watch me learn. He wants to see what I do when I've learned it. I also tend to watch games I have no interest in owning or if I'm not very good at them. The first one's weird. Then there are games I just don't watch at all, like Magic or Tram Fight Tactics. And he's talking about TFT, but I don't know what the tram is. Oh, it says team with a typo. Never mind. Team Fight Tactics. You don't do anything for me no matter who plays them. They just don't do anything for me no matter who plays them. The main reason I don't watch your RPG content is most of the games you played, I also play. So it's like treading old ground. Waiting for the return to glory of Civ 5. I need more filthy education with salty flavor coming. Deep truth. I rediscovered your channel while looking for guides on Battle Brothers. I stayed because they were super helpful and obviously done with care. You don't present misinformation because you explain from a place of understanding. Oh, and you get salty as fuck. Look, I work in people management. The moment you attach career to anything, there are stresses and a level of grind that can diminish your enjoyment and passion. The important thing is you have fun, and if that means you stream a game a few times and stop, it's fine with me. Yeah, that's the extreme opposite of the grinding aspect, right? But I think there's a middle ground somewhere there, and it's a matter of finding that. Try the Off-World Trading Company. I like your Civ 5 content because you're amazing at it. This is quite like ESO PvP. I've heard that. A couple of my guildmates are playing ESO right now. Annie, is it Belay or Bella? I don't know how to say your last name, Xanabu. Your last of your screen name. Pen name. Best things about your content, hats. Worst thing about your content, not enough hats. Maybe do some guides about the subject you're educated. Maybe do some guides about the subject you're educated in. Would be super cool to hear a filthy life story. Draw my life thing. Okay. What's your Civ guide? Oh man. Trolling chat is one of the things I value most about streaming. I watched your Civ 5 guides and looking forward to more strategy guides that come out in 2020, like Age of Empires 4 and other Civ-like games. Passion Education was a perfect summary for me. I started watching when I could not advance through Darkest Dungeon and learned to love Battle Brothers through your channel. The strategy you need to beat hard strategy games, what keeps me around, and of course, your winning personality. Came for the education. I love Battle Brothers by work and needed someone to teach me to save time. I cannot stand streamers who do reviews or new games or tutorials or new games, as 6 months after its release, their videos mostly outdated. Here are my list of go-to games over the past 2 years. RimWorld, Battle Brothers. Took 3+ hours to get in. No, it took like 25 hours to get into that game. Battle Brothers, Northgard, They Are Billions, very hard. Total War, Warhammer 1 and 2, and Galactic Civ 3. Yeah. You do what makes you happy, and they will come. Be honest, chat. Has my stream devolved to the point where I'm just trying to get them to come? I feel like we're not there yet. If we have another down year of viewership, we might get there. I started watching your channel and learned Civ because you're so good at breaking and abusing game mechanics. I watched a lot of your content to get better at games because I enjoy watching you abuse mechanics in games. I'd like to see you play Caesar 3, an old school city builder with lots of small mechanics that add up. It's on Steam, but it's only low resolution, so probably not very stream friendly. That's not a bad way to request a game that he knows I'm never going to stream and I have no interest in streaming. He says that I'd love to see you do it. Tells me what it is. Acknowledges that there's no fucking way I'm going to do it. Yeah. What I feel is that you want all the good parts of streaming and YouTubing without doing the boring stuff behind the scenes. No, not at all. I do a lot of boring stuff behind the scenes. What I want is the good parts of streaming without the boring stuff on stream. In the front of the scene. As the fucking forefront. I think an editor and a community manager, especially with this amount of subs, is a complete waste and actually bad for your channel. Said a guy who doesn't stream and doesn't know what he's talking about. If you take 10% of that passion of yours for games and turn that into a passion for making your channel better and bigger, and learning about the boring side of things, it'll make you a better streamer or YouTuber. I don't want to become a better manager of streaming content. I want to create better content. I don't want to become a better administrator of my channel. I want to offload administration to someone who cares about that, is passionate about it, and wants to do it, so I can be passionate about the things that I create for my channel that I like. I feel like this comment misses the point entirely. Am I being too harsh here, chat? Like, give me like a sanity check here right now. I need a sanity check right over here. Nope, I'm not shitting on some small streaming creator, Shiro. If he is a streaming creator, I might, on my own time, click on his link and think about shitting on it. But I have no desire to do that publicly. Oh, there's more to it. There's more to the comment. Hold on. Let's see if that sentiment survives the rest of his comment. Exactly. You outsource things you hate doing. I think that's absolutely correct. And ideally, you outsource them not to people who just want to do shit work that they hate doing. You outsource You outsource that type of thing to someone who's either better at it, finds it less arduous, or finds it more enjoyable. Thank you, Carcisia, for the 33 months. I mean, if you think about it, some of what the channel has been telling me, all of this feedback says, or a big chunk of this feedback says, we like watching you figure this shit out for us because we either don't have the time or inclination to figure it out for ourselves, but we want to have fun with these complex, cool games. What have they done? They've outsourced that to me. That's totally reasonable and rational. And they found someone who's passionate about it. That's good, right? How is that not good? Why would I tell them, no, the parts you hate, embrace them, absorb them. Anyone else in your part of your team is weakness. Also, I think a lot of us are here because of Civ 5 and stayed, sorta. I mean, if I look at myself, I'm not watching most of your streams because the games now are not my cup of tea. I think Civ 5 was a combination of the passion, intelligence, and saltiness on a level that's hard to recreate, specifically with games that are more unknown to the public. This is a combination as seeing this as a job, which it is, of course, that in combination as seeing this as a job, which it is, of course, will burn you down on inspiration and passion for it because there's a feeling that is a combination as seeing this as a job, which it is, of course, will burn you down on inspiration and passion for it because there's a feeling of need to put out content, quality over quantity. You can ask us what we like, but we like watching you play something you like. Well, at least that goes for me, and I think the rule should be more used by YouTubers. But don't take this from me. I'm simply a Dutch guy that isn't very successful at life, but these are just my 2 cents on this. I just hope you can keep doing this for a long time. OW, and still the best wishes for 2020. What's OW? Oh, well, that would make sense. Yeah. Well, actually, the rest of his comment is less misguided, I think. I think this is almost certainly wrong. And I know in this day and age, it's bad to challenge ideas because apparently challenging ideas makes people feel bad, and making people feel bad is the be-all, end-all of things you don't do in life. But thankfully, I'm not really fucking engaged with that idea. So I can still shit on bad ideas for being bad ideas without shitting on the person. This is a terrible idea. Doesn't make any sense. So I appreciate the rest of the sentiment. I like that, you know, I understand that he came here because of Civ 5 and hopes for that again. I hope for that again too. Not Civ 5, but I hope for something like Civ 5, right? Or Darkest Dungeon, or Battle Brothers, or a number of other games that I've enjoyed. I hope for a game that has a lot of content to be given from it, that's very complex and very fun, and that I can get the social elements of that. That's something I really like to do. But I think this has got to be wrong. Doesn't make sense with how I parse life. All right. Education, discover games. The reason I watch your videos is because of your very high level plays and informative videos. Used to watch your channel to learn Civ 5 better. Now I watch your Battle Brothers videos as I'm trying to learn that game. Perfect. I think at 6th of February, a new game called Stones Hard comes out. I know about Rock Hard. I don't know about Stone Hard. I don't know if you've checked it out yet. I also know about Hard as a Diamond. I don't know if you've checked it out yet, but I think it will suit your taste. I like your in-depth analysis of game mechanics and your personal opinion. You remind me a lot of Crip before his soul got consumed by Hearthstone. It didn't get consumed by Hearthstone. That's not right. Crip's soul got crushed by Hearthstone. It got pulverized into little tiny pieces, and his soul got consumed by the fact that he was very popular for Hearthstone. And although the game was fun for like a month, it did not really survive 5 years later. Crip is a warning story. He's extremely successful. Extremely smart guy, knows how to make a business out of something, puts in a ton of hard work, but hates it. And he's doing it, I think I can do it better. Not in terms of like raw outcome. I don't think I will ever be that successful. But I think I can do it better in terms of my quality of life as I'm doing it. He actually, for me, represents a guidepost of I'm probably gone too far in that direction if I'm doing that, I think. Yeah, when he plays non-Hearthstone, I think he enjoys himself again, I think. I especially enjoyed your Civ games a lot. Please make playlists of your playthroughs and streams. It's a pain in the ass to look for videos sometimes. Please make playlists. I do make playlists. Is this another bad YouTuber? Playlist. Playlist, 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 playlist. 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 Playlist, playlist, playlist. Playlist, 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 playlist. Okay. All right. Will do. All right. All right. I'm an on and off viewer of your stream, and it largely depends on the game you're playing. I like watching you play Darkest Dungeon and Battle Brothers, but I'm not interested in watching you play many other games like MTG or Civ. Also, and I aim to say this in a non-hurtful way, I watch your channel as a secondary if the stream I usually watch is not on at the time. Edit. After you're asking on Twitch, I also watch because I like Pale Ginger's Shrug. No judgment. Yeah, me too, Zenemu, for the Hafu comment. For me, my maximum enjoyment for your channel is when I'm familiar with the game and about 50% of where you are in the learning curve of the game, but that can't be feasible for all viewers. Someone will be introduced to the game by you. It's definitely max enjoyment when I'm currently playing the same game as you and you can learn strategies. I often pick up the games you play that seem fun and works best with the games where you can be in your element, exploring depth and discovering mechanics. Filthy7. Oh, it's Wyo. Hey, Wyo. Filthy7 to you as well, man. All right, I think we're almost through the list of videos. Good, it almost took the entire stream. If I release a new video every day and we just react to these videos, I literally have infinite content. It's perfect. I've hit it. I've hit it in the get rich quick stream. Well, not quick. Okay. All right. Hello, Filthy. Oh, that's the other good thing. Now this is a race. If I slow it down a little bit, I will reach the end of my stream before we have to watch what my mods want me to watch. We will not have to watch the Nier trailer. Yes. Yes. Perfect. Hey, Filthy. I watch your videos mostly for the tips, tricks, and builds. I also like your reviews. You have an analytical mind and are very good at translating your thoughts and views. Oh, there's a request in chat for a repeat. Let me get through that again. Hey, Filthy. I watch your videos mostly for the tips, tricks, and builds. I also like your reviews. You have an analytical mind and are very good at translating your thoughts and views. Can you guys hear this okay? Oh, Victor got distracted. All right. Hey, Filthy. I watch your videos mostly for the tips, tricks, and builds. I also like your reviews. You have an analytical mind and are very good at translating your thoughts and views. That speaks to me a lot compared to other more flashy and loud YouTubers and streamers. I wish you success with the project for this year and the ones to come. I understand that you need deep games with a lot of strategic and tactical elements. I'd suggest Mordheim City of the Dam. We played it for a couple weeks on stream. Check it out seriously. Battletech is also cool. Mods. Pathfinder Kingmaker with the essential turn-based mod. That's interesting. That would be kind of an interesting mod to have on that. Witcher 3 is a good idea if it's a thing right now to bring in new followers. Keep it up. Yeah. Oh, what? Why did it fucking huck me down? Oops. Okay. Hi, Filthy Robot. Watch this to the end and have some feedback on you that I hope you'll find constructive. I see your content brand as someone streaming with a scientist's mind, spreadsheets, min-max, etc., and a tortured artist's soul. Your clear passion for what you, your clear passion for what you do, and that short fuse. I find your Twitch and YouTube maddeningly inconsistent, so I'm glad you addressed this in your video. Please have a day of the week to show. Please have a day of the week show or some other mechanism that shows me that on Tuesday I watch a YouTube of you trying a new game, on Thursday where I get a review. I haven't had a lot of luck with trying to schedule content on a day-to-day basis, in part because I don't always have a very clear understanding of what my future content will be and when it will be that way. And that's in part because of the way I engage with streams, or engage with games rather, which is when I'm done with the game, I'm done with a game. And it's like a fucking light switch. I'll go from super, super interested to done. And it's on off, and there isn't an in between. And sometimes I just power through that for a little bit, but long-term powering through that is fatal. So like Phoenix Point was like that. I was excited, I was giving it a chance. We got to a point where I could assess that. The game was shit, we left. So it's hard to do that. It's not something, well, we'll see. Maybe the future will allow us to do that better, but it's currently not a thing right now. It's also a pain in the ass to update that. So we'll see. I believe that you need to make a decision about the fundamental goal of your content. Are you here to better the players in your community or entertain them with the games that they maybe won't play? Those don't seem mutually exclusive to me. Of course, you always do both. But I think the value proposition needs to be more clear. Either my goal watching you is to improve or it's to be entertained. And you need to make that your North Star for content creation. See, I don't think so. I think the goal of my guide videos is for you as the viewer to improve. And I think the goal of my streams is for you as the watcher to be entertained, because I think they're different points and they're both necessary for this. You tune into a stream because it's immediate entertainment. You watch a guide video because you're trying to ask or you're trying to have a question answered or get better at something. And I think they're fundamentally different things. So the fact that I'm a content creator who creates both isn't, I think, contradictory, at least from my perspective.